him I didn't do anything wrong, but the fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at all. But you had me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, so something different. So if I need to show that.
Newly released footage shows the incident that led to the arrest of Dallas native and Olympian sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sha'Carri Richardson was not simply suspended, she was erased from Team USA as if her name had never been on the roster. One blunt email ended it all, no warning, no compassion, no discussion, just cold dismissal. The spark came from a leaked airport video, raw and unedited, showing the heated clash between her and her boyfriend Christian. The league branded it the breaking point. Now the streets are in overdrive, asking who was really telling the truth, Sha'Carri or Christian. The chaos began when she was arrested at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport for allegedly putting her hands on him.
Christian, are you serious right now?
So man, in Washington State, he doesn't get a say.
But I understand, we were arguing. But I understand entirely. We were arguing. Okay, I'm not gonna resist. But I'm telling you that we were arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at all. But you had me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, so something different. So if I need to show that, I will.
You have you on camera, it's all right here.
Okay, but I have my phone that shows something different. But Christian, thank you, Christian.
Don't talk to him right now.
Okay, I won't. Thank you so much, officer. They are arresting me right now, Christian. Sissy, they're arresting me right now. Am I gonna go actually to jail right now?
You are actually gonna go to jail.
Wait, but right now,
yes, it's a physical.
I didn't. Can he tell you that I didn't do nothing to him?
We have it on camera.
Christian, are you serious right now?
Alright.
Christian, I'm about to go to jail because of you right now. You know what? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I will never fucking.
She might have believed the noise would die down once the headlines faded, but instead she was blindsided by the harshest blow of her career. Team USA did not just put her on the sidelines, they erased her completely. This was not a warning or a temporary pause. It was a career-shattering cancellation that threatened to undo everything she had sacrificed for. What hurt the most was how it went down. Her own agent dropped the news in her inbox, forwarding a cold, lifeless email from USA Track and Field. No call, no conversation, no second chances. Just one line that cut deep: she was placed on indefinite leave. And in the world of track, those words mean only one thing: your time is finished. The sting was not just the punishment but the tone. No empathy, no explanation, only brutal finality. For Sha'Carri, it felt like the floor had been ripped from under her. This was not about waiting for the media storm to pass. This was the league telling her she would never walk back through the same doors again. They had finally spoken the truth out loud. They were done with Sha'Carri Richardson. And the airport fiasco? That was only the breaking point, not the whole story, because if you look back, this pattern has been following her for years. In 2020, she made headlines for failing a drug test, flagged for THC. That one result cost her the Tokyo Olympics, the dream every sprinter spends their life chasing. Instead of lining up for gold, she was stuck in damage control, forced into counseling by the US Anti-Doping Agency, and hit with a 1-month suspension that robbed her of the 100-meter race. If that was not enough, she was dropped from the women's 4x100 relay too. Fans worldwide called it unfair, pointing out how cannabis is legal in many places. But the officials were clear. To them, this was not about weed, it was about the player behind the scandal. Behind closed doors, whispers grew louder. Coaches talked about her attitude, teammates grumbled about her disrespect in practice, and her reputation started to shift. The label was not just rule breaker, it was problem. And that is why not a single teammate stepped forward when she fell. No social media posts, no support, only silence. And silence, in this case, speaks louder than any defense ever could. So the real question is, why did it take this long for the truth to surface? How did Sha'Carri keep the shield up all these years? That is where things turn suspicious. Because her airport arrest did more than tarnish her name. It opened up a much darker story that still does not add up. The first twist came when her boyfriend, Christian Coleman, suddenly appeared, speaking out in her defense. He claimed she never should have been arrested at all. But here is the catch, witnesses insisted they saw her put hands on him in public. That contradiction raised even more questions about what really happened that day.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if, like, she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she has, like, things that she needs to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like, everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just, like, extending grace and mercy and love. And, I feel as if, like, I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at, like, situations like this to just, like, you know, take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so that's kind of how I look at the situation. And like,
when the supposed victim flipped the script and started defending her, that is when people began looking at the entire situation differently. And once the video of him speaking dropped, everything got messy. Christian kept insisting it was just an unfortunate situation, that Sha'Carri was not really at fault. But his body language painted a different picture. He was fidgeting nonstop, his eyes darted around the room, and he could barely maintain eye contact with the camera. He looked like a man who did not want to be there, someone who knew more than he was saying, maybe even someone afraid to tell the full truth. The moment that video hit Twitter, it was like pouring gasoline on fire. The timeline exploded. Users immediately pointed out how suspicious the whole thing looked, and one comment cut straight to the heart of it. This is a textbook example of a DV victim defending and justifying their abuser. DV should never be tolerated under any circumstances. That one line forced people to rethink everything. Still, the conversation split. While some were calling it out for what it was, a wave of others continued defending Sha'Carri, even trying to pin the blame on Christian. They swore he was exaggerating or setting her up, but all of those excuses collapsed in seconds when the next video surfaced. This one confirmed the nightmare people whispered about but were too afraid to say out loud. Remember, Sha'Carri had already lied about her role in the altercation. At first, she brushed it off as a harmless couple's spat that spiraled out of control. She wanted everyone to believe it was nothing more than a lover's quarrel gone wrong, and for a moment, people almost bought it. That is, until the full footage came out. When police released the complete 15-minute arrest video, the mask came off quickly. From the start, you could see her energy was on edge. She tried to play it cool, smiling here and there, acting like nothing was wrong. But the second she realized the cuffs were coming out, she switched instantly. Her tone dropped, her face hardened, and the real Sha'Carri came out. That sudden shift told fans everything. This was not just a misunderstanding. This was the truth spilling out on camera. Her meltdown played out like a scene from a drama series. One moment she was grinning at the cops, and the next she was tearing into Christian, calling him a coward, ordering him to back her up, swearing she was innocent. But it did not stop there. She escalated further, pulling the ultimate victim card. She claimed he hit her first, then doubled down by insisting that because he was the man, he should be arrested instead. The audacity was staggering. But her story unraveled fast, and the cracks in her version of events became impossible to ignore. Just a few days later, TMZ dropped the airport's CCTV footage, and that is when everything snapped into focus. Suddenly, Sha'Carri's frantic behavior, her defensive outbursts, and her desperate excuses all started to make sense. The video laid out the truth in clear detail. It showed Sha'Carri shoving Christian, putting her hands on him, and getting directly in his face. Meanwhile, Christian never raised a hand. If anything, he looked like he was trying to step back and create space. The more he tried to retreat, the more aggressive she became. That one clip completely destroyed her defense. It did not just prove she was lying, it showed how calculated she could be. Without that footage, she might have successfully flipped the narrative and painted Christian as the villain. Instead, the world saw exactly who was who. Under pressure, Sha'Carri had no problem throwing Christian under the bus just to protect herself. When the TMZ tape surfaced, the reaction was immediate silence. No statements, no defenders, not even excuses from her own camp. For the first time, it seemed like her supporters realized there was no way out. The evidence was right there for everyone to see. The only option Sha'Carri had left was to step forward, admit the truth, and face the consequences. But when she finally broke her silence with an apology, it only made things worse. Her so-called apology video went viral in minutes, but not for the reason she wanted. Fans were not convinced, not because of the words she used, but because of the way she delivered them. On camera, she talked about accountability, reflection, and forgiveness, especially toward Christian. She said everything that sounded right on paper, But her attitude told a different story. Instead of looking like a humbled athlete ready to make amends, she came off casual, smirking, almost playful. Viewers said it felt more like a lighthearted Instagram live session than a serious statement about domestic violence. Her body language gave her away. People accused her of reading off a script, like she was coached by a crisis PR team. Fans dragged her online for being fake, saying she cared more about appearances than actually fixing the situation. One comment summed up the public mood perfectly: she already had a bad attitude. Now she is out here assaulting a man in public. Time to pack her up. If this was Christian, his career would be over instantly. And that is exactly the storm she is facing. Before all this, Sha'Carri had the world at her feet, with sponsors and endorsements lining up. Now, insiders say she is close to losing it all. Big companies like Nike do not take risks on athletes who make their brand look bad. They move fast, and right now Sha'Carri looks toxic. Behind the scenes, reps are blowing up her phone, demanding answers, while new deals are already being put on hold. Lawyers are circling, crisis meetings are happening, and her entire career feels like it is hanging by a thread. The woman who once ran through every scandal with her head held high is suddenly frozen. No posts, no statements, no fight. Just silence. If her suspension stays in place, this is not just a benching, it is an erasure. She would not just be off the team, she would be out of the sport entirely. And this story is far from over. What do you think? Can Sha'Carri somehow recover from this? Or is this truly the end of her career? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Public Secrets for more stories the mainstream will not tell.